Hi, everyone. We're on Patreon. Find the link in the show notes. Show off your love for being curious with the official Info on the Go merch.
Whether you're sipping your coffee from our sleek mug, staying warm in one of our cozy hoodies, or rocking that fun fact inspired t shirt, or just carrying one of your essentials in our reusable tote bag, you'll be repping curiosity and style everywhere you go.
Each item is designed with our curious, on the go community in mind, and every purchase helps support the show. Wear it, sip it, carry it. Info on the Go is more than a podcast, it's a way of life.
Patreon, find the link in the show notes. Hi, I'm William,
And I'm Kat,
and that makes this info on the go.
answering questions you want to know.
Have you ever heard of kinesis?
Um, is that the study of body language?
Yes. Kinesis is the interpretation of body communication, such as facial expressions and gestures, nonverbal behavior related to movement of any part of the body or body as a whole.
The equivalent popular culture term is body language, a term Ray Birdwhitzel considered the founder of this area of study.
Yeah, so body language on this episode of Info on the Go.
Body language played a crucial role in early mankind by serving as the primary means of communication before spoken language was developed.
This nonverbal method allowed early humans to convey emotions, intentions, and vital information through gestures, facial expressions, and posture, which was essential for coordinating hunting, social interactions, and warning of potential threats within their communities. So think about that. If you have you ever really talked to somebody or communicated with somebody without saying a word?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that's what we're talking about.
In the absence of spoken language, body language became the primary method for expressing needs, desires, and emotions.
Gestures and facial expressions helped establish social bonds by indicating friendliness, aggression, and submission, which were crucial for maintaining group dynamics.
This nonverbal communication was particularly important for hunting and survival, as it allowed individuals to coordinate strategies, signal danger, or communicate prey location without making noise.
One of the remarkable aspects of body language is its universal understanding.
Many basic cues, such as smiling for happiness or frowning for anger, are considered universal, enabling communication across different groups.
The ability to interpret and express body language is believed to have evolved alongside our primate ancestors, with many similar gestures still observed in other primates today.
In summary, body language was indispensable for early humans, facilitating pre-verbal communication, social cohesion, hunting and survival, universal understanding, and an evolutionary basis for nonverbal cues.
So, have you ever saw somebody like talking on the telephone, even though they're not facing somebody, they're still using their hands for gestures?
Yes.
Okay. When I was doing my part of the research of this, that was one of the things one of these professors were talking about. Uh, they would just stand out and watch people do nonverbal communication. Um, hold
Oh, I
on.
mean, yeah, you definitely see it all the time if you're looking for it.
So, as a primary means of communication, it allowed early humans to convey essential information and emotions, helping them navigate their environment and interact effectively within their communities.
Body language plays a crucial role in communication. Our brains tend to prioritize nonverbal cues over verbal communication.
For instance, if someone says, I love you, but their facial expression or tone seems insincere, the brain is more likely to believe the nonverbal message rather than the spoken words. So, yeah, I mean, I could see that for sure.
Mhm. Right, right. However, it is important to recognize that body language is not universal. Various factors, including cultural background, neurodiversity, and psychological differences, influence how people express and interpret nonverbal cues.
Cultural differences significantly impact body language. In many Western cultures, maintaining eye contact signifies openness and interest, whereas in some European cultures, prolonged eye contact may be considered disrespectful. Hmm, I did not know that.
I didn't either. I definitely like to look at people in their face.
Yeah, I guess
Dang.
it's really, you really need to know your audience for nonverbal cues and be aware of them.
Right. I guess that means they think we're kind of like alien, just staring at them. I don't know. I'm thinking about like trying to put myself in their shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. But again,
Uh,
again, it all comes like when we talked about yeah, one of our episodes, like eating insects. It's really all about what you grew up with, learn knowing what it's all about what you grew up with and how you perceive those cultural differences. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
So we grew up making eye contact, whereas some other cultures grew up not making eye contact. Anyway, I'll let it all that out. We'll
Right.
continue on.
Similarly, while nodding is generally understood as a sign of agreement in some cultures, in others it may simply indicate acknowledgement rather than consent.
Neurodiverse individuals may also interpret and use body language differently.
For example, while some people fidget when bored, neurodivergent individuals may fidget to focus, self soothe, or manage anxiety.
Remember the fidget spinner?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yes, it was
gosh.
all the rage.
Huh. Autistic individuals may also experience difficulty reading nonverbal cues. Additionally, certain psychological conditions, such as social anxiety, can impact body language.
Someone struggling with anxiety may avoid eye contact, and individuals who dislike physical touch may refrain from handshakes or embraces.
I'm not a handshaker. I would prefer to do the fist bump over the handshake.
Yeah, feel that.
I mean, that's just me. And some people, if someone sticks their hand out, I'm gonna accommodate. But if I had the first option, I'm gonna, do the fist bump thing.
Right.
Understanding these variations can help foster better communication and prevent misinterpretations.
The mouth and eyes can reveal a great deal about a person's emotions. Smiles, for instance, can convey different meanings.
A genuine smile involves both the mouth and the eyes, while an insincere smile typically lacks eye involvement. Have you ever seen someone do a fake smile? You
Mm-hmm.
can, you can tell that it is a fake smile.
Right.
Okay.
Right. A smirk may indicate uncertainty or even disdain. Similarly, lips that are compressed may signal unease, while pursed lips can indicate anger or disagreement.
The eyes too can express emotion in subtle ways.
Rapid blinking can indicate stress, discomfort, or worry, though it is not always a sign of dishonesty.
Pupil dilation can signal attraction, excitement, or fear, whereas contraction often reflects disinterest. Uh, I don't know how. I guess your eyes get big when, they're like, I guess that's where the expression comes from. His eyes got big looking in the store window or whatever, or her
Right,
eyes.
right. Additionally, gaze direction can provide insights into a person's thoughts and intentions.
Someone frequently looking toward an exit may be eager to leave, while downward or sideways glances may indicate deep thought or problem solving.
Eye blocking behaviors, such as covering the eyes or rubbing them, can often occur when a person is distressed or reluctant to engage with a particular situation.
Arm and leg movements also contribute to body language interpretation. Crossed arms can signify vulnerability, anxiety, or resistance to an idea, but in some cases, they may indicate confidence.
Protective gestures, such as holding an objection against the chest or resting an arm on a surface, suggest discomfort or the need for security.
Legs and feet can express emotions through behaviors like tapping feet, shifting weight, or jiggling legs, which often indicate nervousness or restlessness.
Additionally, the direction of the feet during a conversation can be telling. Feet pointing away may suggest a desire to exit the conversation, while feet directed towards someone indicate engagement.
So some of this that when researching, I looked at these FBI profilers and, when they're doing interrogations. And one of the FBI agents said that one of the things that he looked for most when he sat down to do an interview was which way were the feet aimed. And that would give him a telltale sign of where, uh, what was going on in the suspect's mind. Feet forward, are engaged in the conversation. Feet away from, the person in front of them means they want to exit the conversation or avoid the questions.
Right, right.
Anyway, I just thought I would tell you where that came from. Hand gestures can further emphasize verbal communication.
Outstretched palms often indicate openness, while clenched fists may signal frustration or anger.
Subtle hand movements like touching the cheek can suggest deep thought or interest in a conversation.
Similarly, breathing patterns can reveal emotions. Rapid breathing may be associated with excitement or anxiety, while deep breaths can indicate relief, anger, or exhaustion.
Slower, controlled breathing generally reflects calmness or contemplation. Posture and physical distance also play a role in nonverbal communication.
A person leaning back against a wall may be disinterested, whereas leaning into a conversation typically signals enthusiasm.
Standing tall with hands on the hips may exude confidence, while resting the head on one hand could indicate either interest or boredom, depending on the context.
Personal space preferences vary, but someone who consistently stands close to another person likely enjoys their company, while someone who takes a step back may desire more distance.
So, this came out of another study with this marriage counselor, and her whole thing about watching people was how couples stand together or appear together. And
Mhm.
if the couples were close together as they walked, down like the sidewalk or whatever, they were more in tune with one another. Whereas she said if there was space in between them, that meant that there was space in the relationship between them as well.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was interesting. And a lot of these people that study body language actually get out in the world and just like observe people in everyday life. And then, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Learn how they interpret their craft.
Right.
All right. Interpreting body language is complex and requires consideration of multiple factors.
The study of nonverbal communication, known as kinesis, focuses on understanding these subtle cues. Mm.
Since body language can vary from person to person, it is essential to compare current behaviors with a person's typical nonverbal patterns.
When in doubt, directly asking someone how they feel can provide clarity. Additionally, maintaining some level of eye contact can enhance understanding and engagement during conversations.
However, it is crucial to balance attention to body language with active listening.
While nonverbal cues offer valuable insight, combining them with verbal communication provides a more complete understanding of a person's thoughts and emotions.
You can apply much of the body language guidance to video calls as well. While you'll have less space and less of your body visible, you can still convey enthusiasm and make others feel comfortable and receptive to your ideas.
First, get your camera set up right, close and close enough to show interest without invading people's virtual space.
Make sure the camera is at eye level so your gaze appears natural, and leave room to gesture without hitting the screen.
Maintain eye contact by looking into the camera as if you're looking into someone's eyes. In group calls, look around at the participants to watch without staring.
Use facial expressions, keeping a slight smile and raising your eyebrows to show engagement while avoiding frowning.
Remember, body language isn't universal. People's cultural backgrounds can influence how they use and interpret it. Psychological differences, such as social anxiety, can also impact body language, making it hard for someone to maintain eye contact or engage in casual touch.
For effective communication, consider all aspects, including verbal communication and active listening, in addition to body language. Reflect on how you use your body language and avoid making assumptions about others.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Energy rocks, like the pop rocks you loved as a kid, but now supercharged for adults. Just pour these tasty pineapple mango or cherry berry crystals into your mouth and pop, you're on. In under 3 minutes, you'll feel clean, focused energy from natural caffeine, B12, and L-theanine without the crash. No pills, no mixing, no weird drinks, just pocket-sized popping power, ready anytime, anywhere. Energy rocks, candy with a purpose. Pop, focus, go with Energy rocks. Use code INFO on the go 20 off to get 20% off your order or click the link in the show notes.
Is success mainly caused by talent, hard work, or luck? This is Tunde, and if you fancy listening to something slightly different, check out the How I Crushed It podcast. We interview people and find out how they've managed to crush it in their careers and overcome the many obstacles along the way. We've interviewed comedians. I mean, you're a good-looking guy as well.
I was about to say to that. I was waiting for that comment, by the way. I was like, he's beating around the bush, and he needs to go into the bush.
Entrepreneurs.
If I'm running a race and like my leg gets blown off, I'm going to pick it up and hop. That's just the person that I am.
Sportspeople, and many, many more. So check out the How I Crushed It podcast, available on all major platforms now.
Hi, everyone. I want to tell you about a unique Father's Day gift, one that'll last for generations to come, and that's with tellmail.ai. Mail captures the stories, the memories, and the wisdom, and will put it into beautifully crafted chapters. You can turn these into a hardcover book that you can share for generations. My personal experience with Tellmail is going to allow me to be able to share my childhood memories with my children, my grandchildren, and hopefully their children. If you're looking for a unique Father's Day gift, look no further than tellmail.ai. Click the link in the show notes.
If you're getting mixed signals, ask the person what they're thinking. Interpreting body language should complement talking and listening attentively, not replace it.
Police officers rely on body language to assess potential threats, gauge a person's emotional state, and build rapport during interactions with the public.
By carefully observing nonverbal cues such as facial expressions, posture, hand movements, and eye contact, officers can interpret situations more accurately and identify signs of deception or aggression.
These skills are critical in law enforcement as they help officers make decisions that can enhance public safety and de-escalate potentially volatile encounters.
One of the primary ways officers use body language is to read emotions. By paying attention to subtle facial expressions, gestures, and shifts in posture, they can determine whether an individual is anxious, fearful, angry, or attempting to conceal information.
Okay, a person's demeanor may reveal distress, reluctance, or even hostility, which can inform an officer on how they should proceed with the interaction. Recognizing these emotional states early can help prevent misunderstandings and ensure a more effective response.
Assessing a person's threat level is another crucial aspect of body language interpretation in law enforcement. Certain physical behaviors, such as clenched fists, a rigid posture, avoiding eye contact, or sudden erratic movements, may indicate that someone is preparing for aggression or attempting to flee.
Officers are trained to detect these warning signs, allowing them to take necessary precautions to protect themselves and others. Recognizing these cues can mean the difference between a peaceful resolution and an escalated confrontation.
In addition to threat assessment, body language plays a key role in building rapport. Officers who maintain a relaxed posture, make appropriate eye contact, and use open gestures can foster a sense of trust and cooperation with the people they encounter.
This approach is especially valuable when interacting with victims, witnesses, or community members who may be apprehensive about speaking with law enforcement. I didn't really think about that aspect of a police officer's job, but it makes total sense.
I watched a lot of true crime, like a lot of true crime. It's one of my favorite subjects. So I figured I have seen some of the interviews and some of the documentaries and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, do you see how they use body language in everyday? I mean, like they have to be
Oh
skilled
yeah.
and trained.
I mean, they
Um,
deal with some of the worst kinds of monsters for people out there. I mean, at that point, they're always on guard.
yeah, I never really thought about, different movements and how they react or how police officers may react to body
Right.
language. But it makes perfect sense after reading this and learning about it.
Right. Establishing rapport through nonverbal communication helps ease tensions and encourages honest and open dialogue.
Detecting deception is another crucial skill that relies heavily on body language.
When verbal statements do not align with nonverbal cues, officers may suspect dishonesty. Inconsistent eye contact, nervous fidgeting, defensive postures, or unnatural pauses in speech can all signal that someone may be withholding information or fabricating details.
So this is going to be more like in the interrogation side of it now, right?
Right.
Okay. While no single gesture definitively proves deception, experienced officers use these indicators alongside verbal analysis to uncover inconsistencies and determine the credibility of a person's statements.
Finally, body language is an essential tool in de escalation techniques. Officers often use a calm voice, steady posture, and non threatening gestures to help diffuse tense situations.
For example, maintaining an open stance rather than crossing arms, avoiding sudden or aggressive movements, and speaking in an even, controlled tone can prevent a confrontation from escalating.
These nonverbal strategies are especially important in crisis situations where effective communication can mean the difference between peaceful resolution and unnecessary use of force.
In summary, body language is a vital component of law enforcement, influencing how officers assess, interact with, and respond to the public.
Whether reading emotions, evaluating potential threats, building trust, detecting deception, or de escalating tense encounters, officers rely on nonverbal cues to make informed decisions.
Mastering these skills enhances communication, promotes safer interactions, and ultimately strengthens relationships between law enforcement and communities they serve.
How to use body language in an interview.
Making a strong first impression is crucial in an interview.
Your interview begins the moment you enter the building, so exude confidence and professionalism from the start.
Greet everyone you meet with respect, maintain eye contact, and introduce yourself with confidence.
While waiting, sit upright rather than hunching over your phone to appear engaged and attentive.
When you meet the interviewer, stand up, smile warmly, and offer a firm handshake.
Comfort matters, so avoid wearing new or uncomfortable clothing that could cause distractions.
Fidgeting due to discomfort might send the wrong message. Similarly, maintaining good eye contact is essential, as it conveys confidence and helps build a connection with the interviewer.
However, balance is key. Staring can make others uncomfortable, so allow natural breaks in eye contact.
Listening is just as important as speaking.
Show engagement by leaning slightly forward, nodding, and maintaining open body language.
Good posture also impacts how you are perceived. Sitting up straight signals confidence, while slouching can indicate disinterest or low energy.
At the same time, avoid being too stiff, as it may make you appear nervous or uncomfortable.
Your hands play a role in communication as well.
If gesturing comes naturally to you, embrace it, as it can enhance your message.
When you're not using your hands, keep them in a neutral position to avoid unnecessary fidgeting.
Ending the interview on a strong note is just as important as the beginning. Maintain good posture, smile, and offer a firm handshake while thanking the interviewer for their time.
Even after leaving the interview room, remain composed and professional until you are completely out of sight.
If your interview is remote, body language still matters.
Sit up straight, position your camera at eye level, and make eye contact by looking directly into the camera.
Avoid excessive movement or fidgeting and ensure your setup is distraction free.
Use gestures naturally and troubleshoot technical issues ahead of time to ensure a smooth interview experience.
Finally, practice makes perfect. Rehearse with a friend or in front of a mirror to identify any habits that may need adjustment.
Whether in person or virtual, confident and engaged body language can make a lasting impression and improve your chances of success.
Signs of confident body language include standing tall with shoulders back, maintaining good posture, making direct eye contact, using open gestures with palms facing outward, leaning slightly forward when engaged in conversation, avoiding fidgeting, keeping your chin up, and using deliberate, flowing movements when gesturing.
Key points about confident body language are maintaining a straight back, shoulders back, and head held high. Steady and direct eye contact with the person you're speaking to. Relaxed and open facial expressions appropriate for the situation. Open hand gestures and deliberate movements that are not jerky or fidgety. Smooth and confident movements without being overly restricted. And active listening by leaning in slightly to show engagement.
To achieve confident body language, it is important to avoid slouching, looking away frequently, crossing arms, fidgeting with hands or feet, avoiding eye contact, or speaking too quickly or quietly.
By adopting these confident body language cues and avoiding common pitfalls, you can project confidence and make a positive impression in your interactions.
Absolutely.
So, what did you think about this one?
It was it was very interesting. I, especially thinking about it from a police officer's point of view, because, they have to try to know people as best they can before they do their job.
I went down into this rabbit hole when researching body language in interrogations, especially with the FBI. Like it, and the CIA, it led me down.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, body language is a part of communicating.
Right.
That's the only true way to say it. So what you're saying has to match up with what you're projecting, is basically really what this says.
Right.
But I think our early ancestors, like winking your eye or giving somebody that uh, smirk smile, or, you can tell when you can approach someone and when you can't, just by their facial gestures or whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway,
Absolutely.
that's all I've got.
Me too. If you would like to support this podcast,
Click the support link in the show notes.
William and I want to thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Join the Facebook group at Info on the Go,
Share with us your show ideas.
or ask us a question.
Subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcast.
Send us a text using the link in the show notes or leave a review.
Email us at
infoonthegopodcast@gmail.com.
and yes, that is all one word. Till next time.
Stay curious.